Hi everybody, we're going to take a quick look at Zoom in Barcelona. This is a new game from Blue Orange Games, and this has a little bit more going on in it than we usually see from Blue Orange Games, so let's just take a closer look. Alright, welcome to the city of Barcelona in Spain, and we're going to be participating in a photography contest and trying to take the best photos of the city. We are going to do this in a couple of different ways. We have the judges' picks area here where the judges have told us which buildings they want us to take photos of. So these landmarks are the desired locations where we want to go. And you do need to land on the exact spot required to get it. So the pink, what is this, Pentagon area neighborhood, which is this neighborhood up here, spot number 8, which is over here. If I can get to that spot, I can collect this card. The other way you can take photos is by going to the skyline tokens, and if I can get to the skyline token space, I can take a photo of this city skyline and I can collect that chip there. And we'll be moving around. You can move up to 2 spaces for free, or you can spend one of your transport cards to move more. The buildings are going to be worth points throughout the game. They're going to be worth 3 points each for each of the landmarks that you take a photo of. However, we also have some themes that we will select randomly at the beginning of the game. We'll pick 2 of these at random. And so any place that is a casa or plaza, any place that has water. Okay, so for this game, your cards will be worth 3 points each, but if they have water or if they are named casa or plaza, you'll get a bonus point for every landmark you take a photo that has those themes in it. As far as the skyline tokens are considered, you do want to collect as many of the different skylines as you can, and they will be worth points depending on how many of them you have at the end. So for example, if you have just 1, that's 1 point, 2 is worth 4 points, 3 is worth 7, and exponentially up from there. And the other 2 things you can do on the board is you can visit an information space to get more of the transport cards, and you can visit a metro spot, the red M spot. If I visit a metro, I can transport automatically to any other metro spot on the board, thus ending my turn. The last thing that we're going to be taking photos of are dragons. So for any Americans who do not know, the city of Barcelona is known for its dragons. There are artistic and architectural dragons throughout the city, and you will find many of them. This dragon token is actually going to move around the board throughout the game to different dragon spots, and if you can get to the spot where the dragon is located, you could take a photo of a dragon, and he gives you the ability to do one of a couple of different things. You can take a free landmark photo from the judges' pick area, you can take a free skyline token from anywhere on the board, or you can wipe the judge picks area, trash these cards, and refill them with some fresh ones. Alright, so that is the basic game. There is, however, a more advanced version of the game you can play. So we recommend that you start on just the starter game, or if you don't want a complex gameplay, you can just play the starter version. But anybody who wants to sink their teeth in a little bit more and have some other constraints and rewards, we have the advanced rules. So the first thing that you have in the advance is you have a Zoom token. The Zoom gives you 3 Zoom points you can use throughout the game. And if you go somewhere and you want to take a photo, and you can't quite get to that location, you can spend a zoom point to take a photo of something that is 1 space away from you, or you can spend 2 zooms to take a photo of something 2 spaces away from you, or 3 zooms to take a photo of something 3 spaces away from you. But bear in mind, you only have 3 zoom points to spend for the whole game. They do not refresh. So the usefulness of zoom is if you need to take a photo but you've run out of movement, if someone else is standing on the spot where you need to be, or if you're trying to just be efficient and you have somewhere else you'd like to go after this turn and you don't want to waste time walking away from where you want to go later. The next thing that we have in the advanced game is we have the natural light tracker, and we will put 4 required visits into the natural light tracking area, and each person will keep track of where they have gone on the natural light tracker. If you do not go to these required locations, the city landmark cards you collect, you will not be able to score these at all. However, if you get to the sunrise light tracker, if this is me getting into the sunrise, I will now be able to score 2 of my cards. If I could visit this building and take a photo there, I will progress to the high noon, and that will allow me to score a couple more cards. So that's very useful. At the end of the game, I can score some more if I've collected those. And then I can visit this building, and if I take a photo there, I progress to sunset, and here that would be nighttime, and this again allows me to score even more of my cards. So this puts a bit of a constraint on managing everyone's navigation across the board, and it's basically a race to get stuff. So everyone's racing across the map, everyone's trying to get landmarks, skylines, and light tracking, because you can't finish the game until you can actually score your cards. So this puts a constraint on you, and you have to make some required stops. Alright, so the most comparable comparisons I can make for this game would be something like a Ticket to Ride or a Mr. Jack. Anything where you are traveling across a map trying to get to certain locations. You're not building anything in this game. I personally play a lot of building games, so you're more like collecting points in this game. And it is a bit of a race to grab the stuff, but there's all these different levels of stuff that you need to get between the landmarks, the skylines, the dragon, and then if you're playing the advanced version, the light tracker. The skylines are also a little bit different in the advanced game. Instead of just 1 is 1, 2 is 4, and so on. In the advanced game, you are given a unique skyline, and you must try to grab them in this order. Each player has a different one. So that's another creative constraint. But yeah. The gameplay is actually not terribly difficult once you figure out what you're doing. The rulebook, however, is a bit of a challenge to get through. There are a lot of pieces in this game, so setup takes a while to figure out how to do. I would say anyone who is already playing Ticket to Ride would probably be fine playing the basic game, but the rulebook could be daunting for them. If they're already playing Settlers of Catan, they'll probably be able to handle it, but just bear in mind that reading the rulebook and setting up your first game is really the toughest part. There's some non-clarity in the section about the theme tokens, about how the bonus scores go for that. But other than that, it's a good game for a range of players, like anywhere from 2 to 6 players. You don't see that very frequently in a sort of middle-of-the-road strategy game. Oftentimes you'll see those games top out at 4 players or maybe 5. Or if you know, things like point acquisition games like Sushi Go really aren't super fun with 2. So this is a game that has a pretty good range of players. It does say ages 8 and up, so like I said, the gameplay is not terribly complicated, but reading the rule book your first time around might be a little bit of a challenge. I definitely recommend that parents give this a whirl before they sit down with the kids so people don't get frustrated, because you're going to spend some time. That being said, I mean, it's not like massively huge. It's only like a 4-page rule book. Alright, I think that's everything I've got. I think I got everything.